first question. What does the teleological argument mean and why is it important? So first of all, what is the teleological argument? Yes?
Like three things. Every design has a designer. The universe is like complex designs.
Right. So every design has a designer. The universe has a complex design. Therefore, the universe had a designer. And then the second part of that question is, or not the second part, what does the teleological mean and why is it important?
Well, it's important to know because we believe in a God who created the universe, and we can prove that some way by just saying, "Oh yeah, Jesus says this." If we can prove outside of the Bible that someone has to create it, we can at least establish that before we say God created it.
Right. We're using logic, not the Bible. Yes.
Also said it's further proof of our universe being designed for human life on Earth.
Right. Right. It shows us how the universe is exactly tuned to have life on Earth and specifically human life. Yes.
The precision of the design provides.
Right. It's not just that it's designed. It's not your kindergarten, painting. It's complex. It's precise. So here's what I wrote out. Because the universe has a highly complex design, it must have a designer. Now, we're not talking about who the designer is at this point, but that whole Rolex watch, kind of analogy. Yeah. You wouldn't see something that you forces of nature. I have no idea why it stays hot, but I'm so happy it stays hot. They designed it well, right? And so somebody came up with a Contigo that keeps it cold or keeps it hot. And we don't think that came about naturally, right? And it's important to know because the assumed belief is that the universe was an accident. There are far more people out there and far more teachers out there that believe that the universe is one big accident than it is designed. But where is the proof of accidental precision? There is no such thing. It appears to be designed. And I know I told you this story already, but when Katie was 16, and the statistic that's given is that something like 40% of teenagers get into an accident. Katie was among those in my brand new. Yes, the rental. Only brand new car I'd ever had. But it wasn't her fault at all. And I'm grateful that when, so she was with a friend and that friend's father came to pick me up because I didn't have a car, to take me. And I was very grateful. He said the girls are fine, and I already knew that because Katie, I couldn't really understand what she was saying. That's basically what she said. I was very grateful that the father said to me, "The girls are fine, cars," and it was. I actually have pictures. I should show you. The entire front end was destroyed, and the Sorrento is not a small car. The entire front end was destroyed. And thank goodness for airbags. That's what happens on accidents. Accidents disorder. It takes a designer to order. Yes.
Actually.
Oh, I haven't told you the story? I thought I'd already told you. Yeah, so, the truck came over the hill, it was, yeah, and they were both asleep, and they were both on. So they didn't.
Really weird.
Yeah.
Are they on?
That's what I'm thinking.
The best part about that story is, that, they had, I will not name because, but their, insurance company, wanted me to sign something that said, because it was a dubious and doubtful cause, that, I'm not gonna press charges or whatever. And I'm looking at this dubious and doubtful cause. No. And so I called him back. I called him and I said, I won't sign this because it was 100% the other person's fault, and that opens me up to litigation. And she kept saying, this is what we do for all our assets. And I said, I'm telling you, I'm not going to sign a false document. And finally, I said, okay, if you're telling me that I'm going to have to put my name to a false document that opens me up for litigation, I'm telling you right now, I'm coming after you with everything I have. And I'm going to sue I'm going to sue this company. And so then she said, I'll talk to my supervisor. And about 15 minutes later, I had a different document to sign. And I signed it. So yeah, it wasn't dubious, it wasn't doubtful, but it also wasn't
15%.
designed. Sorry, I shouldn't have said that. Okay, question 2. Who are the 2 famous scientists who confirmed the validity of the teleological argument?
Macy.
One was Isaac Newton. I didn't hear the other one. John, can you tell me? William Paley.
Macy. It's like standing up before
I asked you too. I asked you.
For me.
Okay, next question. What common sense assertion did William Paley give in support of the teleological argument? We already referenced it, yes.
A watch requires a watchmaker.
Yeah. If we saw a watch on the ground, we wouldn't say, oh, wow, that was a weird storm that made that. We know that there was a watchmaker. Somebody designed and created that watch. So the watch and the watchmaker. Number 4. What is the anthropic principle and why is it important? So what does anthropic mean? No?
No.
It means human or man.
Yeah.
So what is, I don't want you to state it, what is it? It's the argument.
That the universe is fine-tuned for human life.
Right. It's the argument for design, right? It's the argument that the universe is fine-tuned to support human life. So this is the argument for the fine-tuning of the universe. So there's 5. They just ask you to list 5 anthropic constants in the book. There are more, but what is one of them? Yes, John. Oxygen level. It was 21%. If it was 25%, there'd be fires. If there was 15%, we would all suffocate. We have exactly the right percent of oxygen for life, not just life for us, because we're not the only ones that need oxygen, right? For everything on Earth. What's another one? Evan? atmospheric transparency. So for lack of a better term, that's the thickness of the atmosphere. That it's not too thick and not too thin. So I can't really read my writing very well here. If it's too much, if it was less, there'd be too much solar radiation. And if it was any thicker, for lack of a better, there wouldn't be enough solar radiation. We have the exact amount. Now I know about August 2nd. You're like, we got too much, but for in terms of for life, it is just yes.
The ozone layer responsible for blocking radiation, or is it the whole atmosphere?
I think it means the whole atmosphere. I don't think it's just talking about the ozone layer, but I don't know that for sure. So you could ask Mr. Sharp or Mr. Hubert, and then you can tell me what they think. Because as you all know, I'm not a scientist. Didn't you ever? Okay, so I did chemistry in high school. I took it. What is the anthropic constant? Oh wait, I went too far.
I mean, number 3.
What?
Yeah, sorry. List each of the. So we talked about oxygen level. We talked about atmospheric transparency, and then anthropic constant 3. Yeah. The Earth and the Moon their gravity is working on the other. So if it was greater, then the tides and the atmosphere and the rotation would be more severe. And then what if it was less?
Our orbit, and you would have climate instability.
Climate instability and our orbit would not be as long. Anthropic constant 4. Yes.
The carbon dioxide level.
Yeah. So if it was higher, then there'd be a runaway greenhouse effect, burn up. If it was less, then there'd be no photosynthesis, and we would not have anything, right? Or air or anything. So anthropic constant 5, which I think is the craziest one. Yes. Gravity. Yeah, gravity. And even a tiny, you saw all those point zeros, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Point 1 to the negative 37.
That
That's what I
much.
said, yes.
That much. Just this tiny change. There's no sun, and so there's no solar system. So it isn't just our Earth that's okay, so that's what we have for today. Yeah, we're gonna stop here. I think it's a good place to stop.
40-foot plane.
And oh yeah, I'll do 40 foot plane.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. Well, there's nothing bad about it. I just think you're gonna be sorely disappointed.
That's okay.
That's
It's
okay.
okay.
Okay, it's the curiosity.
That's
Yeah.